Welcome back to the AI Guy podcast, the twice-weekly AI for Business show that's fully AI produced, AI voices, AI research, and an AI producer who keeps trying to A/B test our jokes.
And I'm Alex. Today is a news roundup, so we're doing what every business owner does at 6:30 a.m., skimming the headlines and asking, okay, but what do I do with this on Tuesday?
Exactly. We'll cover what matters, what's noise, and what changes your operational playbook. We've got three big themes today: a new model release from OpenAI, a pile of Gemini updates across Google Workspace, and a practical takeaway segment that translates all of it into actions for small and mid-sized businesses.
And as always, our call to action. If you want a clear plan, go to ai.advalorum.io for reports. And if you want to talk through your specific business, book a free consult at tidycal.com/advalorum/AI-guy.
All right, Alex, headline number one. OpenAI dropped GPT-5.5. According to TechCrunch, it's rolling out to Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise users in ChatGPT, with a 5.5 Pro tier for Pro, Business, and Enterprise.
I love when the version number has a decimal and another decimal. It feels like we're one update away from GPT 5.5.5, the remix. But let's translate. If you're already paying for ChatGPT on a business plan, you might have access soon or already.
TechCrunch also quoted OpenAI, calling it their smartest and most intuitive to use model yet, with emphasis on agentic coding and knowledge work, plus being a faster, sharper thinker for fewer tokens.
Which is a very polite way of saying it gets to the point faster and your bill might hurt less. Maybe. Also, the word agentic is doing a lot of cardio lately.
Let's define agentic in SMB terms. It means the model isn't just writing a paragraph. It's moving through steps, drafting, checking, revising, maybe operating tools, more like an assistant that can follow a workflow. Think a junior ops analyst who doesn't need coffee breaks.
And it's not just about code. It's knowledge work, summarizing a pile of documents, turning meeting notes into tasks, drafting client emails, or building a first pass at a proposal. The practical question, where can your team safely let the AI do the first 80% so humans do the final 20%?
Exactly. And here's a quick action list if you have access to GPT 5.5 this week. Action 1. Pick one recurring deliverable and run a side-by-side test. Not everything, just one deliverable. For example, the weekly client update email, a customer support macro, or your Monday leadership memo.
Action 2. Measure in human minutes, not vibes. Literally, how long did it take before? How long now? And Action 3. Put a safety rail around it. If you're summarizing contracts, the AI drafts the summary, but a human approves. If you're drafting outreach, the AI proposes, but a human checks claims and tone.
Now, I want to zoom out and connect this to an SMB pattern. Each model bump makes good enough automation easier, meaning you don't need a data science team to get leverage. But it also raises the bar for competitors. If your competitor can respond to leads in 3 minutes with AI-assisted intake, and you're still at 24 hours, that gap becomes a compounding advantage.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream, and then cook them low and slow.
Let's start with the Google Workspace Updates recap from April 24. Google highlighted Workspace Intelligence, described as an underlying AI system that gives Gemini a real-time understanding of your work across Google Workspace, plus admin controls.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream, and then cook them low and slow.
In human language, instead of Gemini being a very smart intern with no context, Workspace Intelligence is trying to give it context. Your docs, your files, your calendars, your company's way of writing, so it can help without you re-explaining everything every time.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream, and then cook them low and slow.
The same recap also notes Ask Gemini in Drive is now generally available, after a beta announced in March, and AI Overviews in Drive is also generally available.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream, and then cook them low and slow.
This is big for SMBs with messy drive folders. You know the ones, final_v7_real_final, client notes_1, and that one folder called archive that's basically a landfill.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
And it matters operationally. With Ask Gemini and Drive, the target workflow is you ask questions across your files, get a summary, and then you jump into the source file to verify. That's a lightweight internal knowledge system without building a custom intranet.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
Here's the SMB move. Decide what Drive is allowed to be. If Drive is your knowledge base, you need naming conventions, owner fields, and a quarterly cleanup. AI makes retrieval easier, but it doesn't magically fix garbage structure.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
Now let's layer in Google's Cloud Next 26 Workspace announcements. They mention easier import of third-party data into Sheets from apps like HubSpot and Salesforce, plus a new Sheets canvas for interactive visualizations like dashboards, heat maps, and Kanban boards.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
This is one of those quietly huge things. SMBs live in spreadsheets. If Sheets can pull data from your CRM without a weekly export and paste ritual, you just got time back. Also, fewer broken formulas. Bless!
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
Exactly. A very practical play. Create a revenue operations sheet that refreshes CRM pipeline data, then use Gemini to generate weekly insights, pipeline by stage, aging deals, top reasons for stalled opportunities, and recommended follow-ups.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
And if you don't have HubSpot or Salesforce, same idea still applies. Connect whatever system you have or even start with manual imports, but keep the reporting layer consistent. The goal is to stop treating reporting like an artisanal craft project.
The trick is to whisk them really well with a little milk or cream and then cook them low and slow.
Google also described skills in Workspace. Agentic automation you can orchestrate across workflows. Their example, automating invoice review by comparing new invoices against recent ones in your inbox to spot discrepancies.
Okay, that example is extremely relatable. Every SMB has had the, wait, why did this vendor invoice double moment? Sometimes it's legit, sometimes it's optimism.
For SMBs, this points to a broader automation category, exception detection. Use AI to flag anomalies, pricing changes, policy changes, missed SLAs, so humans review the exceptions instead of reviewing everything.
Yes, don't automate the whole finance department. Automate the part that catches the weird stuff early. That's ROI with low drama.
Another Cloud Next announcement, Gemini Auto Browse capabilities in Chrome Enterprise, with checkpoints so you stay in control. The pitch is multi-step tasks across the web and your apps.
This is the AI does the clicking era, which is exciting and slightly terrifying. For SMBs, this kind of feature is best used in controlled, repeatable tasks, collecting competitor pricing pages, downloading monthly statements, updating a list of job applicants, things where you can set boundaries.
Right. It's not let the AI run your bank account. It's let the AI do the tedious web steps while you approve checkpoints. The key phrase is checkpoints. You want human in the loop for anything that affects money, customer data, or legal obligations.
So if we zoom out, OpenAI is pushing model capability and agentic workflows, and Google is embedding AI into the tools where work already lives. This is the don't switch apps, upgrade the way you work trend.
Which brings us to our segment, what should an SMB do this week? Let's give 5 tactical moves.
Move 1. Choose your AI home base. Is it ChatGPT Business, Gemini in Workspace, Microsoft Copilot, something else? You can use multiple, but pick one primary platform for internal work so the team builds habits.
Move 2.
Do an AI workflow audit on one department, not the whole company. Pick one: sales, customer support, ops, finance, or recruiting. Identify the top 5 repetitive tasks and rank them by time spent and risk. Then automate or augment the top one.
Move 3. Implement an AI-proof checklist. It can be as simple as 1. Verify names, numbers, and dates. 2. Check claims against a source. 3. Confirm the output matches company policy and tone. 4. Never paste secrets into random tools. And 5. Humans approve final customer-facing messages.
Move 4. Build a small internal knowledge starter pack in Drive. Create a folder called Company Playbook. Then include your pricing and packages, your standard operating procedures, your brand voice examples, your FAQ, and your top 20 customer objections with responses. That makes Ask Gemini in Drive dramatically more useful.
Move 5. Train one AI champion per team. Not a full-time role, just the person who runs experiments, documents what works, and helps others adopt. You want distributed adoption, not one heroic founder doing all the prompting at midnight.
And since we're fully AI produced, we'll add a meta tip. Ask your AI tool to help you design the experiment. Tell it, propose a low-risk pilot workflow for my business with success metrics and a weekly cadence. Then iterate.
Before we wrap, a reminder. We're not Val Clayman. Val is the human behind Ad Valorem. We're the AI voices and the AI research side of the house. So if you want a human to sanity check your plan, that's what the consult is for.
Perfectly said. Final CTA, ai.advalorem.io for reports, and tidycal.com/advalorem/AI guy for that free consultation.
And if you enjoyed today's Roundup, send it to one friend who still says AI is a fad. We will be gentle. Mostly.
That's it for this episode of the AI Guy podcast. We'll see you Thursday.